Welcome, the chosen ones. The most terrifying tempest is the one that builds in total silence. As Machiavelli famously implied in The Prince, the worst mistake a ruler can make is failing to prepare for the storm while the weather is calm. When the skies are clear, the weak resting on their laurels assume the peace is permanent. But the truly strategic mind utilizes the quiet to sharpen the blade. You see, human psychology speaks of a state called cognitive dissonance. It is that sudden, paralyzing mental vertigo when your brain crashes into a reality it never planned for. It's the agonizing friction of holding two opposing beliefs at the exact same time, the desperate struggle to reconcile what you thought was true with the undeniable reality staring you directly in the face. Well, look in the mirror. You just became the living definition of cognitive dissonance with a single calculated execution. The critics who thought they had your entire life mapped out are now staring at the wall, completely disoriented. They are trapped in a mental prison of their own making, whispering to themselves, "Wait, how did we miss this? How could we have been so incredibly blind to what was building right in front of us?" Part 1. You rewrote the victory conditions. You didn't just win the race. You completely demolished the track. They expected you to sprint toward the finish line they painted, according to the arbitrary regulations they established to protect their own superiority. They assumed the only path to triumph was the narrow, exhausting treadmill they've been running on for decades. Instead, you ignored their prize entirely. You looked at their golden trophy, realized it was hollow, and rendered the entire system completely worthless. The reality shift, true dominance, isn't defeating your rivals at their game. It's making their entire game obsolete. Their strategy depended entirely on predictable patterns. If you do X, they counter with Y. They spent years studying your old film, preparing defenses for a battle you had already outgrown. But when you threw away their rulebook, every single weapon they prepared became entirely useless. You forced them to realize that the system they worshipped is full of holes, held together by nothing more than tradition and unearned arrogance. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must either mimic the fox to recognize traps or the lion to overpower wolves. You didn't just pick a role, you changed the entire terrain, turning their pristine battlefield into a swamp where their heavy armor serves only to drown them. Now, they are in an absolute panic, replaying every past conversation and analyzing every text message, wondering how they failed to see you were operating on an entirely different frequency. Their gatekeeping only works when the masses believe there is only one way to scale the mountain. You proved there's a shortcut, and you didn't ask for their map. Part 2. The illusion of reality shattered for years. Your opposition lived in a comfortable, self-made bubble. It wasn't factual, but it fed their egos, validated their laziness, and protected their fragile worldviews. With one swift move, you pulled the rug out from under their entire existence, exposing the rot underneath. This didn't just hurt their feelings, it completely shattered their identity. Human beings rarely notice the bubble they live in until someone pops it, leaving them gasping for air in the cold harshness of reality. The agonizing shock isn't just discovering the new truth, it's realizing how long they survived on a lie, and how much time they wasted defending a fiction. They have to face a brutal, multi-layered realization. They were completely, embarrassingly wrong about you. They were wrong about the market dynamics they claimed to control. They were wrong about the very foundation of their own authority. You didn't invent the truth, you simply turned on the lights in a room full of monsters. In The Prince, Machiavelli warns that flatters pollute the minds of leaders, blinding them to reality and leaving them exposed to sudden ruin. Your opposition surrounded themselves with sycophants who praised their manufactured reality and nodded at their obsolete strategies. Now, they are trapped in a mental spiral with no off switch. If they misjudge someone they were so certain they had figured out, they are left wondering what else in their life is a complete and total fiction. Part 3. Destruction of the safety blanket. For the longest time, they protected their fragile egos with a lazy, patronizing narrative. Oh, they just got lucky. They hit an algorithm wave. Someone paved the way for them behind the scenes. It was their ultimate coping mechanism. Because if your success was accidental, they didn't have to face the dark, agonizing fact that they lacked your work ethic, your grit, your sleepless nights, and your sheer bravery. Then you dropped a masterpiece, an execution so flawless, so deeply rooted in raw skill, master engineering, and absolute discipline, that it stripped away every single excuse they had left to hide behind. The brutal mirror. If your triumph was earned through pure merit and relentless execution, then what is the excuse for still standing at the bottom? Machiavelli dedicated entire chapters to the eternal battle between fortuna and vert, drive, talent, and ability. He famously argued that while luck controls half of our actions, the remaining half is ruled by our own merit and preparation. When the dams break, luck favors the architect who built the strongest levees. You just proved that your vert is absolute. Your success became a mirror that reflects their late starts, their skipped hours, their compromised standards, and their avoided risks. You proved that their limitations weren't imposed by external forces. They were self-inflicted handcuffs. Part 4. Motion vs. momentum. They've spent years broadcasting their endless performative grind to anyone who would listen. 14-hour days, packed calendars, endless meetings that could have been emails, and chaotic aesthetic vlogs. It looked like progress to the untrained eye, but it was just frantic, chaotic motion without direction, a rocking chair moving back and forth, but going absolutely nowhere. Then you stepped up. In a single, precise action, you achieved in 48 hours what their entire lifetime of frantic busyness couldn't even touch. Suddenly, their flawless work ethic doesn't look like dedication anymore. It looks like a highly sophisticated stall tactic designed to avoid producing actual results. You didn't ask for perfect, pristine conditions. You didn't wait for a committee to vote or an executive to agree. You spotted the target, struck with absolute precision, and delivered. You exposed the massive yawning canyon between being active and being impactful. Machiavelli noted that a prince who relies on lazy delay tactics under the guise of diligence will inevitably be ruined when circumstances shift quickly. True mastery belongs to the decisive. Their loud routines were safe because they allowed them to claim they were working on it without ever risking real failure in the public square. You proved that true advancement requires stepping directly into the line of fire. And guess what? The audience sees it too. Peers, partners, and critics can all tell the difference between your real-world outcomes and their infinite preparation loops. Part 5. Bypassing the gatekeepers for generations. These people acted like they held the keys to the kingdom. If you wanted a seat at the table, you had to beg for their validation, sign their contracts, and accept their crumbs. They built their entire personalities around being the ultimate arbiters of worthiness, the grand protectors of the status quo. The fatal flaw in their design? You showed everyone that their gates are completely irrelevant because the walls themselves are imaginary. You built your own platform, cultivated your own direct audience, and manufactured your own internal leverage. This shakes them to their very core because it threatens their survival. It means the absolute control they thought they possessed was nothing more than an illusion. They cannot discredit your execution without looking completely bitter, and they can't claim credit because they weren't even invited to the build. In the words of Machiavelli, it is far better to create an entirely new order than to rely on the established nobility who will always try to chain you down to preserve their own titles. New principalities built by one's own arms are far more secure than those inherited from old regimes. Every time your name is mentioned, it serves as a glaring reminder that excellence will always find a way to rise, completely bypassing their permission slips. Part 6. The power of absolute silence. You operated in the deep shadows until the execution was entirely irreversible. You didn't post progress updates on social media, you didn't seek external opinions, and you didn't leave a trail of breadcrumbs for your enemies to track. While they were busy bracing for a loud public battle, you were constructing your empire in total isolation. Silence isn't a lack of confidence, it is the ultimate tactical shield against sabotage. The blindsided effect: by the time they heard the noise, the project wasn't launching, it was already finished and dominating the market. That finality is what terrifies them. There is no room left to delay you, no window to warp the narrative, and no opportunity to place roadblocks in your path. They didn't just lose their match, they never even got the chance to step onto the court. Machiavelli advised that a wise leader must keep their true designs completely hidden until the moment of execution, leaving the enemy no time to frame a defense or rally their troops. You gave them absolutely nothing: no warnings, no teasers, not even a silhouette of your master plan. When people are blindsided, strategy vanishes. Instinctive, messy panic takes over. Part 7. Shattering the myth of replaceability, they comforted themselves with a sterile corporate fairy tale. Everyone is replaceable. If they leave, the machine keeps spinning. No single person is bigger than the institution. It was a neat little mechanism designed to keep talent humble and make middle management feel powerful. You just completely broke that narrative. When you altered your direction, it became instantly clear that you weren't just a cog in the mechanism. You were the axis the entire system revolved around. Without your energy, your insight, and your unique charisma, the structure didn't just slow down, it physically buckled under its own dead weight. They are learning in real time that certain individuals bring a completely irreplaceable cocktail of insight, flawless execution, perfect timing, and authentic influence. You cannot simply plug a substitute into that equation and expect the same magic. Machiavelli observed that a state is only as strong as the foundational talent of its architect. If the foundation is weak, the entire principality collapses. No matter how grand the buildings look, they can try to patch the hole with corporate jargon and temporary fixes, but the output will never match the original design. Now, every delay, every drop in quality, and every operational misstep screams your name in the dark. They depended on you far more than their pride ever allowed them to express to your face. Part 8. The ultimate strategic mirage. They moved with the unearned arrogance of people who believed they had your boundaries completely measured and your potential catalogued. In their minds, they knew your ceiling, your next play, and exactly how to corner you if you stepped out of line. And your masterclass? You never corrected them. You let them sleep. You let them enjoy that comfortable fiction, because you understood that being underestimated is the ultimate competitive advantage. Their sheer arrogance became your perfect camouflage. Because they assumed you were predictable and small, they stopped watching the details. They left massive openings in their defense floors they never would have risked if they knew your actual caliber and your true intentions. The chasm, your ultimate move, wasn't just a surprise, it was an absolute apocalypse. The distance between who they thought you were and who you actually are isn't a step, it's a massive canyon. Machiavelli wrote extensively about using strategic deception to draw enemies into a trap of their own making, letting them walk blindly into their own ruin while celebrating an early victory. You let them believe you were small until it suited you to show the truth. They had the traditional resources, capital, legacy backing, and institutional power, but you possessed the superior vision and psychological alignment. You showed them that money can open a door, but vision constructs the entire skyscraper. They are trapped in the most frustrating position a wealthy opponent can face. They can easily outspend you, but they can never, ever outthink you. The new benchmark, what you have achieved, goes far beyond a temporary victory on the board. This isn't a single win, it's a structural realignment. You have fundamentally shifted the tectonic plates of their reality. You proved that authority is never granted, it is seized. You proved that vision will always outrun capital, and that decisive execution will always leave endless preparation dead in the water. You operated in absolute secrecy until the trap snapped shut, leaving them frantically playing catch-up while you are already mapping out the next frontier. Your results speak with a volume their narratives can never match. You moved where they couldn't follow, scaled heights they couldn't reach, and forced them to face their own internal limits without even mentioning their names. This is a permanent recalibration of expectations. They weren't ready for your arrival, and they will never be ready for what comes next. If this insight hit you with the kind of clarity that forces you to stop, look at your life and rethink your entire strategy, do not just sit there. Join the collective. Smash that subscribe button right now so you never miss a single masterclass in raw execution and strategic leverage. Hit the like button if this message resonated with your current frequency, and leave a comment below sharing the exact excuse you are burning to the ground today. Do not keep this power to yourself. Share this video with one person who needs to remember exactly how dangerous execution and silence can be. Every single action you take here helps build a circle of individuals who refuse to live an ordinary existence. Step into the light, execute with precision, and be counted.